It's Bristol, baby! Ready to go for the first time at Bristol in this Xfinity Series season. We are still looking for our first victory. We've come oh so close. But I think this is going to be the race we pull it all together. Bristol is a short track, of course. Our short track game is always on point. So let's see where we can qualify the number 40 Cash for Claims RS car. I feel like I left the car a little too tight for qualifying. I was a little bit worried about spinning out, so we didn't get all of it. I feel like we could have gotten. We'll loosen the car up for the race, and I think we'll have a really good shot. 26th isn't a bad starting position. It's just not where William Byron is. So we're going to have to come up through the middle of the pack, and you know what that means. Probably a lot of crashing. Here we go. All right, so here we are, ready to go racing at Bristol. We are underway and racing. So, what are we going to be able to do here in turn one? Well, Brad Keselowski is going to put me up in the wall. Kind of my fault because I decided to stick it in up there. So, we've got 25 positions to make up here. 20 laps in the stage, or the first stage, I should say. Or 2 stages, of course. And we'll kind of slide down to the inside here. Not quite going to get there, though. Oh, now we will. Wow, that was quite the move there, but we'll get around Brandon Brown, Tyler Reddick, and Brad Keselowski. Of course, guidance counselor Brad, to those of you who have watched this series for a while. But now we're starting to come through the field as everybody's starting to slow each other up a little bit. Traffic is going to be a huge key in this one, as it usually is with the short tracks. It's going to be a lot of beating and banging, and the first guy through the lappers is going to be the guy who probably gets the victory in today's race.
Clear up top.
But at the moment, it's looking like a plate race. There's cars all over the place, 3 wide all the way around, multiple lanes being used, and but we are moving up the field, so that's a good thing. We're up 8 positions or whatever, starting 25th, all the way up to 17th now as we go underneath Michael and the threat. The only problem with a race like this is you really start building up the rival meters for all the drivers. So certainly we may end up getting wrecked in the next race because of our over-exuberance here. We'll try not to be too over-exuberant, though, as we try to get underneath Matt Tiff there. And now we're up a full 10 positions as we get around Tift. And now Harrison Rhodes is just ahead of us. Whoa, a little bit of contact. I definitely had to block quite heavily there, and Tift is going to not take that too kindly. He runs into me, of course he does. So Tift will take that position back, but we will slide underneath. Well, maybe he got into him a little bit. Rubbin's racing, Matt. Just remember that. And we will slide completely underneath him this time and take that position away. So now we got to focus in on the Smithfield up here with Eric Almirola and Kevin Harvick. And we'll get underneath the gas station pizza special, I think. Ooh, that was so close there. But now we get underneath the gas station pizza car and going to try to take the Smithfield car, but it's not going to happen because the, what the heck is that? What a weird sponsor for Justin Allgaier that is. Does it say Shelter Foods? Southern Foods, never mind. Don't know what Southern Foods are and why they're different than Northern Foods, but hey. Oh boy, that was close with Eric Almirola, almost got into him, but we get around, so we're all the way up into the top 10, and we're going to get some stage points. Hopefully, anyway. We got to keep Almirola behind us, but that's not going to help. Getting up into the wall and clobbering it, and now Brandon Jones down to the inside as well. Look at that little tiny mistake there, how much it cost me. And now we're up here on the outside where I don't really want to be. Well, we've wrecked Eric Almirola. Maybe. Nope, he saved it. Oh my gosh, oh Mikey, he saved it. And we're just going to drive our own racetrack there. We'll make our own path in this as Jones continuing to hold on the outside, and we'll get up into the stage points there once again, and now we got to chase down Daniel Suarez. I think we'll be able to do that relatively easily here, especially because we've got a nice clean track ahead of us. It won't be clean for long. I would imagine that the lappers are coming, and coming fast. Look at that move. Down to the inside of Daniel Suarez. We are just driving so much deeper into the corners than the AI cars are. It's unbelievable. And now we got Ryan Reed up in front. And then it looks like Elliott Sadler, Blake Cook, and a lot of lap cars are beginning to come into the equation. How many cars are we going to end up putting a lap down before the end of the stage, I would wonder. It's definitely going to make things even more interesting. All these lap cars. So 8th position, can we get, how far can we get up the field, do you think, before the end of the stage? Doesn't look like I'm really gaining all that much on Reed here. He's taking the middle lane as he's trying to get around Elliott Sadler. Not going to happen yet. Reed's getting a much better run off of the corner. I'm getting a better run into it, and at the center, that's where we kind of cross over. But look at that. He gets held up just a little bit by Sadler. We made a little bit of contact, and we got around Reed. And now we're trying to get around Sadler, which we do. So Sadler, whoop, never mind. We got a little bit of contact with Sadler. So him running that outside lane definitely carried his momentum much better than me sliding up into the wall and then him running into the back of me. But we are up into 7th position, and now we're coming up behind the boss, Carl Long, who is last place right now, at least on the track of the running cars. He may not be last overall, and indeed he's not. He's only 39th. Ay, 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 ay. The walls are not being kind to me at the moment. We'll get underneath the boss man pretty easily there, and look at that pack of cars just ahead. Ay, ay, ay. All the back markers plus all the front runners equals a big mess as we just completely run our own line underneath Stephen Light. We're breaking up into the top 6 now because we, of course, passed Blake Cook. So a lot of cars just out in front. I'm hoping that the lappers hold them up just a little bit more because I'd love to get a top 5 finish in this stage. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen at this juncture. Also take a look at the fuel, 18 laps remaining on the fuel, and that's the end of the stage. Wow, it just happens that quickly here at Bristol. So this is going to be interesting. I feel like I should probably stay out for the track position despite the fact that we won't be able to make it to the end of the stage on our fuel. But if nobody else pits, then there's really no reason no reason to go in. So we'll pit, or not. We won't pit. We won't pit. Oh man, that was almost a big mistake. Whew. That was close. I could have taken this opportunity to adjust the car. That may have been the only real reason to come into the pits. Not really too thrilled about starting on the outside either.
Almost ready.
But it's probably better than starting in the back of the pack. As we get really good acceleration here on the restart. And just kind of slot into line here. We need to get to the bottom, which we will do. So Poole, Hemrick, Dillon, Jones, Byron. Those are the 5 ahead of me. How many more laps in the stage? We have 15 laps of fuel, and there's 17 to go in the stage, so that math is not adding up, unfortunately. But, you know, it would have been smart to go into the pits now that I think about it. Assuming the green stays out, there's a very distinct possibility that that the yellow will come out, because if this goes green all the way to the end of this stage, I'm going to look really stupid because I could have repaired the car, loosened it up, and done that all under the yellow, plus had 2 laps in hand on fuel so that we could have stayed out, and the rest of them would have gotten screwed. But apparently that's not going to work out. So Hemrick and Byron just ahead. We finally get cleared Jones. So I guess we'll just have to try to take this on speed rather than strategy. Look at the run that Jones is getting off the corner. We have to enter so shallowly. Is that a word? I don't know if that's a word. But we have to enter so low because of how tight the car still is that we're just killing our exit speed. Our entry speed is fantastic, but as you can see, Jones just all over the back of me. So we just have to take his line away from him on the exit of the corners, which we did there. So we'll be able to get a little bit of space, working off into 3 and 4. But again, it pushes in the center of the corner, and you can just see how far Hemrick and Byron are able to get away from me. Come on, come on. Nope. It's pushing right up next to the wall, almost getting into it. Well, getting into it on the entry because I was trying to get a real good entry to the corner, if that makes any sense. slide down here. 11 laps to go in the stage. Don't know if we'll catch the back of the field in this stage, especially considering that there are going to be pit stops involved as well. Trying to get that run on Hemrick, can't quite do it. 10 laps to go. How many laps of fuel? Hey, 10 laps on fuel, so we could make it to the end of the stage without having to pit. Wow, look at that move.
Keep it right there.
That was close. Probably a little closer for comfort than I really wanted it to be.
Hold your line.
And there we go, sliding underneath Hemrick, or trying to.
Stay right there.
Oh, and we wrecked Hemrick. Around goes Hemrick.
Right.
Is that going to bring out the
Flag,
yellow?
flag.
Yes, it is.
Easy.
Well, there goes our chance at lapping the field, but we'll be able to bring it down into the pits, get all the necessary repairs, and loosen the car up as much as I can. And, well, what? How did I do all that work to the car and manage to get the lead? I don't know.
Almost ready.
There must have been people who needed a lot more repairs than I did.
Green flag. Green flag. All
But
right.
Daniel Hemrick
Now
didn't
it's clear.
have too bad of a restart there, because, or too bad of a time there, because he is now running in the 3rd position somehow. And now Jones was all over the back of me there for a second. But as we get on the throttle, we are starting to pull out a bit of a gap, which is always a good thing. So we're going to be coming to the end of the stage pretty quickly here, I would imagine. And it's always nice to be on fresh tires on a short track, and I've certainly loosened the car up
that's the halfway
sufficiently
mark.
as we've hit the halfway point of the race. 3 laps to go in the stage. It's all looking up David at the moment, as we still got 31 laps on our fuel tank. And we are trying to get a stage victory, I believe, which would be our 2nd stage victory of the season. It's been a hard-fought season so far, but we're finally starting to find some momentum. We're finally starting to find some speed. We're starting to find some consistency as well. And all of those things are necessary for racing for a championship. We got 1 lap to go on the stage. Just ease it around. No threat from behind, no threat in front, of course, if we're talking lap cars. So around turns 3 and 4, off of the final corner, and we will take stage number 2, and some stage points, and a playoff point. So somehow Hemrick managed to get 2nd in that stage, which is good for him. Good for him. Nobody is pitting. We've got 34 laps remaining and 29 on the fuel. There are some cars in the back of the field that are pitting, which is interesting. I think we're going to stay out. We're gonna chance it on the yellows here and kind of make the assumption that there's going to be another yellow. And just hope and pray. Here we go. We're ready to go racing once again.
Going green. All right.
And I've kind of got to hope, as we just completely kind of screw over Daniel Hemrick once again. We kind of got to hope that we lap those guys who pitted under the yellow, because they could theoretically make it to the end of the race. So at the moment we're racing them, so we need to try to put as much distance between us and them if we do need indeed to pit. Ooh, that's not going to help things. Somehow I'm starting to drive sloppy, and we don't want to be doing that. So we've got 27 laps remaining on fuel. We'll see how many we have when we cross the line remaining in the race. 29. So, given our good fuel mileage, I think we can make those 2 laps up. We'll have to wait and see. Again, if a yellow comes out, that's going to just completely make it so that we're good on fuel. However, tires are going to be a bit of a concern, as they usually are, especially because they seem to wear quite a bit here at Bristol. Now we've just got to put as much distance between us and the field as we can. Eric Jones seems to have broken his way out of that group there, so he's the threat at the moment. So we now have 27 to go, 25 on the tank, so not making up any ground yet on fuel. But again, 25 laps is longer than the first stage was, so a long way to go. And that was a little bit of contact, not what I want to be doing. 26 to go. Just working our way off of the corner. Lifting the gas off. And that was a decent lap there. 25 to go, 24 in the tank, so we're making the fuel. We are making fuel right now, but we're starting to see the back of the fuel as well, just like you kind of expect to see here at Bristol. So again, we're going to have to work through the traffic better than the rest of the guys behind us and just kind of realize that we are going to lose out early on in the traffic. That is going to be the key. Or one of the keys anyway. The other key, of course, is passing those guys who pitted under the yellow, because they are also the threat. They are a big threat, in fact. Still not quite made up the fuel mileage I need to make it to the end. Otherwise, that can make everything just a moot point. At least from the perspective of mileage. We're trying to get that win. That win that is so important in NASCAR's playoff system. You have to get that win to lock yourself into the chase in the first place. And that's what we're trying to do. So we're coming up behind Stephen Light and Carl Long, the boss. The boss man.
Yellow's out.
Up, and there's the yellow. There is the yellow. Everybody is pitting. So you know what? We're going to come in for the least amount of fuel possible. 2 tires, no repairs. And hopefully that will put us, that's going to put us 16th. Because not only did we lose positioning to the cars that were ahead of us,
Stay sharp.
but we
Green
also
coming.
lost
Nice
out to
move
the
here.
cars that did not pit.
Green.
So we're going to have to go for it here. Thankfully, those cars
Clear low.
that didn't pit are indeed very slow cars. Oh, as we try to wreck Daniel Hemrick once again, we're in the inside wall.
Car up top.
Yellow's not out because nobody spun, but we lose some
Clear.
positioning. Well, that sucks. We're getting into Coleslaw there. Coleslaw did not spin though, so it's all good.
Car outside.
Well,
Clear
this
hot.
sucks.
Car up top.
All right, we have to make sure that, well, that was an interesting thing. That's interesting as well. Just save it, save it, save it. So much saving going on. And I'm not talking about fuel, I'm talking about saving the car from certain destruction.
Car outside.
As we slide to the inside of Blake Cook, and now J.J. Yaley and Dylan Lupton are the top 2. Just as I kind of feared, we have to race these guys for the lead. In fact, Stephen Light is just behind us. We were about to lap him before the yellow came out. Now Yaley going very slow. It's Brennan Poole. Oh, and we put him up in the wall. That is not going to make Yaley a very big fan of me, but hey, we had to do it.
Clear.
And now we take the lead from Dylan Lupton. So Lupton, Poole, me. That is the top 4, or the top 3. What am I talking about? So can we hold off Brendan Poole? Brendan Poole won at Texas, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I know he won one of the most recent races as we scraped the wall just a little bit. 13 laps to go. Can we hang on for our first Xfinity victory? It's going to be tough. Poole seems to have a very fast car, and of course I've been smashing mine into the walls on the restarts, or on the restart, so can we make it? 12 to go. Those slow guys have been putting everybody else kind of behind the 8 ball there. Guys like William Byron are just completely out to lunch. Elliott Sadler got up into the wall as we were slicing through traffic. 11 to go. We're starting to put the gap on Brendan Poole here as Brad Keselowski is up to 3rd place in the best run he's had in the Xfinity Series to date. And still not seeing anybody out in front.
To go. Keep it nice and smooth.
So it's certainly possible that we are not going to see any lap traffic by the end of this race. But who knows? You just never know. We got 1.3 seconds in hand over Poole. That's what we need. 9 to go. Just trying to drive it fairly easy. Car feels a little bit loose coming off of the corners, so we need to keep it all together at the moment. Car trying not to light the tires up. 8 to go. Boy, howdy. And there's the lap traffic as I was a little too high, trying not to pinch the car off in the corner, and then it decided, I want to go into the wall now. And I was powerless to do anything about it. 7 to go. Here at Bristol, trying to get our first Xfinity win of the season after absolutely dominating the Xfinity Series in the hot seat challenges. We've been struggling so much in the early part of the season. But with 6 laps to go, we're trying to turn that luck around. Can it be done? We've got a ton of lap traffic ahead. Is that going to become a factor by the end of this race? Certainly looks like it will be.
5 laps to go.
5 to go. Ray Black Jr. up there. That can't possibly be Stephen Light, is it? Stephen Light went from the front to the back quicker than I've ever seen anybody go, if that is indeed Stephen Light. Back there, or just up there, I should say. 4 to go. And it is Stephen Light. So somehow Stephen Light went from the front pack to the back that quickly. Interesting. Well, regardless, we're going to lap him. Try to, anyway. As he runs around the outside. 3 laps to go. So, bye-bye, Stephen Light. Looks like definitely the order got shuffled quite a bit before that restart. And you can see Carl Long is holding up a lot of guys as well. So, good teammate work there, Carl. Can you just keep doing that, please? Nah, it doesn't look like Carl's going to hold him up too much. Ray Black Jr., 40th position. We're going to try to sneak to the inside of all these guys. Well, trying to anyway. Last lap, white flag.
All right.
Sneak to the inside as J.J. Yaley gets up into the wall. We wrecked him out of a race for the lead just a couple laps ago, and now Yaley, well, thanks Logano, appreciate it. Trying to wreck me on the last lap. He's trying to not go a lap down for pride, but screw him as we go across the line and take our first Xfinity win of the season and lock ourselves into the playoffs. So we finally get the victory that we've been searching for all of this time. William Byron finished 27th with a stage victory. Of course, we took a stage as well. So let's take a look at first the money. You gotta love the money for the Fitzgerald 300. Not a very rich race. It wasn't even 100 grand to win it. That's a bit disappointing. We finally won a race and it wasn't very rich. But points-wise, we are up into the chase standings finally, locking ourselves in with a win. But if you look at how many drivers have a win so far this season, we're not entirely safe. So we have to keep earning points and get up into the standings so that we can lock ourselves in to the chase. So let's head back to the race shop and see where we are headed next. But first, we've got to celebrate a victory because I forgot that we won. We finally won. There is the Cash for Claims R Us racer in the victory lane, and there I am, taking a victory. Wait a second. Oh yeah, that's right. I was confused for a second because I was like, wait a second, I've already seen this animation. Well, of course I had already seen it. I won in the Cup Series for this team, wearing the same suit, but of course I hadn't won an Xfinity Series until today, which is awesome. So, we earned a little bit more momentum. Ryan Blaney has something to say to us. I'm guessing it's a nice thing. Let's see.
Xfinity win number 1. Way to go.
Well, actually, Brandon Jones. When did I take him out? Did I take out Brandon Jones? Somebody look in the replay and see if I took out Brandon Jones. Harrison Rhodes says, Xfinity win number 1, baby. Isn't Harrison Rhodes the guy who's been talking all this mad trash earlier? Oh, well. Real quick, before we go on to the next race, which is, of course, Richmond. So another short track. That's what we need. We could double up. We need to check this out. Oh. Ty Majeski's arrival. Interesting. Light, Hemrick, Logano, Poole, Morgan Shepherd. They're all mad at me, and we've got a ton of neutral folks. Do we have anybody who's nice? Yes, we do. We have Annette, The Threat, Ray Black Jr., Brandon Brown, William Byron, Jeremy Clements, Ty Dillon. Okay, we got a lot of people who are nice with us, including Guidance Counselor Brad. Well, that's good. Okay, so let's head to Richmond and get it going. Try to get 2 wins in a row. So here we are at Richmond International Raceway. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get this car qualified and see if we can outdo our Bristol performance a little bit. So out of turn 4, don't really feel like this was a great lap, but we'll see where it puts us. 29th, so we didn't outdo our Bristol performance. So we're coming from further back in the field. Ty Majeski, oh no, he's starting alongside me, isn't he? Or close to me anyway. That's not a good thing. Oh well, let's get going. So, coming down for the green flag at Richmond, we got Joey Logano just ahead of us. Of course, he doesn't like us either, but he's not a rival yet. Probably will be by the end of this race, however. So, let's enjoy it while it lasts. All right, to the inside. Oops. Sorry, Bubba. Well, Bubba's not going to like me anymore. And that's probably going to bring out the yellow, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there you go. Well. Should we stay out? Yeah, I'll stay out. I thought I considered briefly for just a split second that pitting would be a good idea, but you know what? It seems like we're so fast at the moment that it'll be okay. It'll be all right. So all the way up in the 4th gear before we even get to the start-finish line. 14 laps to go on the stage. He's lifting off the gas underneath. Clements, try not to spin on the apron. Richmond is notorious for being a track where you can spin on the apron, even in this game.
Hold your line.
And we'll just wreck Happy Harvick.
Clear high.
Oh, and there we go, spinning on the apron. This is a sloppy race. Let's try not to wreck any more people, shall we?
Car outside.
The spotter was impressed with my lap, despite the fact that I wrecked the gas station pizza mobile.
Clear all around.
And now we've got 3 cars underneath me. Jeremy Clements is the only one that actually got there.
Stay on the top.
So I wonder what this outside lane's like. It's okay. Not amazing, but we did get around Clements again, so what am I thinking? And behind Dylan, let's see if we can lift off early, just sneak to the inside of him. A little bit of contact, but I think that's okay. That's an acceptable amount of contact, all things considered. And almost putting him into the outside fence, but it's okay. It's Ty Dillon. He'll get over it. Oh, we've hurt our radiator. That's, ooh, we've probably had a little bit too much front contact in this race. I hope the engine doesn't blow up. That would be, can you even blow up an engine in this game? Every time, back in NASCAR Heat Evolution, when I was frustrated with that game and I would just smash the front of my car up and we wouldn't get a yellow, I would intentionally try to blow the car up, as I get in the wall. I would intentionally try to blow the car up, and every time I got close to blowing up, it would throw the yellow out. So I feel like you can't actually blow up an engine in this game. I'd like to be proven wrong, but you never know. I do know from my good old pal WinVal8820 that you can blow tires out in this game. It takes for freaking ever, but you can do it.
Easy. Hold your
As
line.
we're just wrecking Brennan Poole. Bye.
Bottom clear.
Bye.
Yellow flag. Yellow flag. Easy.
Well, you know what? We're going to take this opportunity. We're going to pit. We're going to pit. Loosen the car up just a little bit and get that car repaired. So we're going to be at the back, but I wonder how quickly we're going to be back up into position where we were slightly earlier. Booyah Mortgage. Have I made a joke about that yet? I feel like if I haven't, I just haven't been paying enough attention, because Booyah Mortgage. Let me tell you, there's nobody I'd rather loan money from. A reputable organization called Booyah. So we got up into the wall there just a little bit.
Keep it right there.
And we'll just slide around the outside. Just try to hang it outside. Bounce off of Ross Chastain a little bit. Now we're in behind the boss, Carl Long.
Low.
And just try to work around the outside. Sieg is actually going to the inside, which is interesting. So it seems like the inside lane is working and my extreme outside lane is working. But look at that entry. So much speed I was able to carry through there. Passing like 3 or 4 guys as we've got 4 laps to go on the stage. So I've pretty much given away the stage points. Which may have been a bad idea, may have been a good idea. So I got 24 laps in the fuel tank. So assuming that this next stage is as short as this one is, we'll be able to make it to the end of the next stage, no problemo. And if the race stays green, we'll actually be able to lap some guys. So it's on me to keep the race green for the next entirety of the next stage. Because then we could romp to an easy victory. Hopefully, anyway. So we go around the outside of Reddick. 3 wide. With Lupton. 2 laps to go. A little bit of contact with Reddick there.
Stay on the top. Stay right
He's
there.
looking, but he couldn't quite get to the inside, so we'll come up here behind Logano. I haven't seen Ty Majeski. I think this is him up here. Yeah, it is. Oh, dear. Well, we're going to find out how much of a rival he is, how much he wants to kill me.
Great lap.
Well, there he is. He's brake checking me. It's a good start.
Easy.
And he's definitely trying to steer down into me. Go ahead and take out your teammate, Majeski. Go ahead and take out your teammate. Bubba Wallace is right here. Whoops. He took me out. Somehow I didn't get a speeding penalty, though I was very worried I was going to get one. So we will be 26th at the end of the stage. Thankfully did not bring out the yellow. Nobody is pitting. We have 21 laps of fuel. And it's all good, man. It's all good. I think we're going to be able to make it to the end of this stage. Or this, yeah, this stage. Instead of the race. That would have been the wrong thing to say. All right, here we go. Back to racing once again here at Richmond. Now we've got to somehow make it around our rival, Ty Majeski. And we do. So that was good. He didn't try to put me in the outside wall. I guess he's got that logical part of his brain where he's not going to try to kill the entire field on a restart just for revenge. I appreciate that. So in behind Joey Gase here, trying to get around him. We're in the middle. I don't really want to be in the middle. Again, we want to keep this race green. We've got 19 laps left of fuel in the stage. There are only 16 laps. It's possible that everybody else will be able to stay out. I certainly hope that's not the case. Regardless, we are moving up through the field quite nicely, so it's not really going to matter one way or the other. We're going to try to get around and net the that is not English. We're going to try to get around and net the threat without causing too much damage or chaos or destruction. Well, you saw how well that worked out. I'm just trying not to hit a net the threat because I don't want him to be an enemy. We can slam into Jones because he's a wanker anyway, and he's like, oh, you crashed me. You're a dirty driver. You can be suspended. Boy, you want to talk that trash that's got behind the woodshed. Just like real man. Well, we're going to drive around the outside of Brown there, in behind Logano, who's not too pleased with me, I'm sure. 12 to go in the stage. Can we?
Clear high.
Or, well, we can, but is the rest of the field going to have to pit? I certainly hope they will. All right, you trash talker, we're going to go to the inside of you. Yeah, where you at? Where you at? Brandon Jones, where you at? Nowhere. Okay, 11 to go. So we lift it off into the corner. Just a little bit of brakes in the center to get it to turn, which, of course, it did turn because we did hit the wall. And then behind Wallace. Can we get underneath Tift? Not really. It's going to be a bit of a struggle here, I suspect, in the next 10 laps. Or in the next... Yeah, in the next 10 laps. What am I talking about? It's going to be a struggle to get around these people because it seems like they're just about as fast as I am.
Clear down low.
But then again, look at that speed I carried through the center of the corner. And around the outside, a lot of them we go. Run one of our fastest laps of the race. There's not a lot of space to get moving here. Still nobody coming into the pits as we make a little bit of contact with Tift there. On the brakes. More contact with Tift. He's going to hate me after this, I suspect. But we're just going to block him to the inside. Why are these Joe Gibbs cars this far back? This is incredibly unrealistic. Especially that 18 car. Well, that was 3 wide, and that was never going to work in any universe. Still no pit stops. I'm getting concerned.
Hold your line.
When are they going to pit? So we slice to the inside of Suarez.
Hold your line. Car ahead is pitting.
And Tift, maybe. On the brakes just a little
Top
bit.
is clear.
Get it in behind Tift. On the throttle. And it looks like now we've got pit stops. Yes, pit stops are indeed occurring. And here we go. David has made the right decision. The decision I should have made at Bristol. But hey, you know what? Screw it. So we got Coleslaw leading Cook and Bubba. And we got the Smithfield car behind us, but it looked like he was in trouble.
Okay, that's the halfway mark.
So how many cars can we lap here as we get around? Get around, round, round, I get around. Looks like we're going to lap pretty much everybody as we cross the halfway mark of the race. 5 laps to go, 11 laps of fuel in the tank. All good, man. Ty Majeski is now second, but he's 5 seconds in arrears of yours truly. On the brakes just a little bit. Just get it turned around there. Off of turn 4 and lapping everybody. Lapping everybody. Which is so good. So satisfying to just lap everybody. Okay, but can we actually put most of the field 2 laps down? I'd really like to do that. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen. But Poole is back here in 35th position, which is just a walloping of massive proportions. Carl Long is now second. So it's a 1-2 for the Motorsports Business Management team. An unbelievable turn of events for this team. As we are first and second, despite the fact that I have a lap lead, and now, never mind. For one fleeting moment, Carl Long's team was first and second in a NASCAR race. How incredible is that? But regardless, we are working our way down the back straightaway, working off into turn number 3. And we have a massive advantage as we've got 1 lap to go on the stage. And it's looking like we're going to get this done. And Michael Annette with a huge crash. Absolutely destroyed that number 5 car. Wow. That was a pretty heinous looking accident, to say the least. So we've got, there's 27 laps remaining. In fact, if we pit, we're going to pit. We could theoretically make it to the end. So we will, even though it's going to put a lot of cars on the lead lap. Wow, what a crash that was for poor Michael Annette, the threat. That must have been a tire or something. Just absolutely going nuts. So Byron gets the free pass. Eric Jones and the rest of them all get wave arounds because, of course, they were able to unlap themselves under the yellow. So 23 laps remaining. We've got 26 in the tank. So we're good to go to the end. And now it's just a matter of getting this car away from that pack behind. And we can take our second win in a row. Easy for me to say. Here we go through the Geico Restart zone. A lap after a restart, so it doesn't matter. That was good commentary, wasn't it? Just aiming for the orange cone on the inside. And now that we have clear track ahead, we can really get it on it here. We also have, of course, the freshest tires of anybody because we were the last car in the pits. So it's just all working out for David right now. As we've got 21 laps to go. We just set our fastest lap of the race, and I'm sure we'll continue to do that at least for the next couple, because just look at that run I got off of the corner. And Eric Jones is running very low there on the back straightaway. It almost looked like he was coming into the pits, at least from the rearview mirror that I was looking at. But he didn't come into the pits, so we will stay green. Or not stay green, but just not focus on Eric Jones. But certainly Eric Jones, in running that unconventional low line, managed to slow everybody up behind him. So that means David just keeps being able, easy for me to say, to pull out just continuing good lead. Wow, the English is not flowing today. I feel like I should title this video, English Does Not Happen in this video. But regardless, we are pulling out to a almost 1.5 second lead. I was going to call it a 1.5 second lead. but it's not quite that yet. Seems like, again, this whole motorsports business management car just doesn't have the straight line speed ponies to be able to compete down the straightaways. It's all made up in the corners, but as soon as we make up time in the corners, they make it up on these straightaways, especially this long sweeping front stretch here, where you really get the car boogieing down into turn one, but it just doesn't quite have the ponies. But again, in the corners, we certainly have good grip, and that's what's able to give us the advantage over the rest of the field, which is why I like these short tracks, because I can drive faster than everybody else. It doesn't matter about equipment. Very close to the wall, or not very close, but very close to pushing up into the wall there. Certainly the car is not handling the best,
You're hitting your mark.
but
Great lap.
I'm figuring out a good way to drive it as we run our fastest lap of the race. And there goes a choke. And there goes Eric Jones. God almighty, you've got to be kidding me. Well, we've got now 3 positions to pass. Just as I said, I figured out how to drive it. Then I forgot how to drive it. Okay, so 3 positions to make up. We need to not hit that inside. Byron, Hemrick, Jones. Well, there's one position, and to get so close to that apron, I was very concerned about that.
Stay right there.
Thankfully, nothing bad came of it. These guys are running so low. They're taking me line away. I think Hemrick's going to leave the bottom open slightly. Oh, no. How did I save that? How did I save that? What? That should not have happened. I should not have saved that. Byron's going to go to the inside. He didn't quite get there. We're going to have to rough up Eric Jones just a little bit here, I suspect. All right, here we go. Going to get into the back of him. Didn't do anything. You can't rattle anybody's cage here. We got 11 laps to go. Byron all over the back of me. Oh no! I tried not to hit the yellow line. Now Byron's down to the inside. A little bit of contact. Tried to rattle his cage just a little bit. Come on. Oh, low. No.
All right, hit to go. Keep it nice and smooth. Keep high. Hold your line.
Wow, I just shoved Byron off into the corner. Well, my attempt to rattle his cage has resulted in my cage being very rattled because I've fallen way back. Okay, so we got Ryan Reed out front. Brendan Poole now. Brendan gone. Oh my God, the Brendan.
Hold your line.
Somebody Brent Bree Ennen names and all that garbage. I don't even know what just English is not working anymore. It's gone.
Clear down low.
David is no longer a native English speaker. He's a speaker of David Ease. Because I'm shook that I cannot win this race.
Stay high.
Now we got to get around Brendan Poole and then Brendan gone, and then we've got to somehow pass Brendan Jones or Eric Jones or whoever, all these Jones gone. Brendan. My breakdown is official.
Hold your line.
Come on, car. Come on. A little bit of contact with Jones. A little bit of contact with the 48 car. There, that's easier. And now we just drive Hemrick off into the corner. Bye-bye.
Clear low.
That was a cage rattled and a half, but he didn't lose it. But we got 6 laps to go, and now we have a huge gap between us and the next 3. But at least we have a clear track, so we can try to run a decent line. What? They're pitting. I didn't even have to. Oh, I didn't even have to race this hard. Are you kidding me?
5 to go.
Is Brendan Gaughan going to come into the pits? We still got 10 laps in hand on fuel. What is going on? Why did they pit? Why did they pit? I'm so confused. Gone is not pitting, so we have to race Gone here as we are catching up to the back of the field as well. So 4 laps to go, and it's a race for the lead between myself and Brandon Gone. Whoa, I've snapped back out of it. And nope, he's going to pit too. Rip this race. I think I'm going to pull away to an easy win here, unless the yellow comes out and unless somebody else is on the lead lap. So, Ryan Reed, I think he's in the pits. I don't know what's going on. Guidance Counselor Brad is now second, somehow. Coleslaw is in the pits. Why everybody, well, I don't know what's going on. I'm so confused. But Guidance Counselor Brad has not pitted. He's 3.8 seconds in arrears. And I'm just completely dumbfounded by what has just happened. 2 laps to go. And we have the field lapped at the moment. Keselowski, I think, is in the pits as well. So that means we're coming up for the white flag, and we are going to lap the field, it looks like. Because I'm pretty sure Guidance Counselor Brad is in the pits. Jones is now second. Byron is third. Gone is fourth, but they are well behind the field. I know Keselowski is still second. I wonder if Keselowski... No, he's not going to. I thought he was going to get it, and then he didn't. So here we go, around the final corner for the final time here at Richmond. A very unlikely scenario, and we're going to lap the field to win our second race in a row. So, a victory. And not only a victory, but we lapped the freaking field. Yeah. Carl Long got 20th, so a good day all around for Motorsports Business Management. Poor Michael Annette, the threat, did not recover from that horrible accident, and he probably did, to be honest with you. I mean, that wreck was, like, definitely fatal. I don't know. We'll see in the next video if old Michael Annette is okay. Currently, the Lifeline helicopter is going to the hospital. That is such a dark joke. Anyway, let's see how much money we made from, $1,000 more than we made at Bristol. That's okay. But the points are going to look quite good because we moved up into 6th with 2 wins and 14 playoff points. So that is all good in the hood. So let's head back to the race shop and see how many people are mad at us after rattling some cages. I forgot again, gall darn it. All this celebrating and merriment. Why do we have to do this after everyone? Why can't we just go home? So, we have achieved some more incentive contracts. Here we go. You see someone hit 20 lifetime wins and start to think they must be doing something right. Way to go. Oh, that's Ben Kennedy. Okay, Kennedy's not mad at me. That's good. Ray Black Jr. says it's a long way to the top, but you're on a roll. We can't say it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll because that's copyrighted. Thanks, Ray Black. That was a nice thing of you to say. So, for the next race and the next video, we're going to do another doubleheader, and it's going to be at Talladega. So, we got a Talladega doubleheader coming up. I think a lot of people are going to like that. Hope to see you guys for Xfinity and Cup at Talladega.